This is Sim Watley out in the prime cut of Louisiana. Watching the ducks. They're challenging everything, including me. It goes with the territory. If I show weakness, if I retreat, I may be hurt. I may be killed. I must hold my own if I'm going to stay within this land. For once there is weakness, they will exploit it. They will take me out. But so far, I persevere. Most times I'm a kind warrior out here. Most times I'm gentle. Occasionally I am challenged, and in that case, the kind warrior must become a samurai, must become so formidable, so fearless of death, so strong that he will win. Even the ducks will believe that you are more powerful, and in a sense you must be more powerful if you are to survive in this land of ducks.
All these majestic creatures were filmed by Sim Watley, who lived among the wild ducks for over 30 years. He went to remote areas across the US believing that he was needed there to protect these animals and educate the public. He would often bring friends and family in order to experience firsthand the beauty of these animals and the habitat in which they lived and thrived. During his last 5 years out there, he took along a video camera, shot countless hours of footage for promotional and educational purposes. What Sim intended was to show these ducks in their natural habitat and to sell lots of clothing. Having myself filmed in the wilderness of jungles, I found that beyond the wildlife film, in his material lay dormant story of astonishing beauty and depth. I discovered the film of human ecstasies and darkest inner turmoil, as if there was a desire in him to leave the confinements of his humanness and bond with the ducks. Sim reached out, seeking a primordial encounter, but in doing so, he crossed an invisible borderline. So much so, he even thinks he can speak with the ducks. Sim grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana in a solid middle-class family, where the father ran a successful insurance business. Sim's father's influence is instrumental in explaining Sim's love and passion of ducks. At a young age, his dad would frequently take him into the Louisiana wilderness to study the habitats of mallards, wood ducks, canvasbacks, redheads, and pintails. What Sim's father had a hard time reconciling was Sim had athletic ability as shown on the soccer pitch, but had a hard time bagging ducks during hunting season due to his poor aim and handling of a shotgun. Following graduation of LSU, he took a cushy job with Hibernia Bank as a commercial credit risk analyst. There must have been an urge to escape the safety of his protected environment. Against the advice of his closest friends and family, he left his homeland to pursue riches overseas. After a series of different circumstances, Sim found himself in one of the most prosperous lands in the world, Dubai. While a great success story, his co-founding of Dubizzle is not instrumental in understanding why Sim would eventually dedicate himself to ducks. However, a series of events in the UAE altered his pursuits in what he wanted in life. While confined to a cell for breaking alcohol consumption laws in Dubai, Sim had a reawakening that he wanted to trade the sands of Dubai for the marshes of the United States. His conversation with his cellmate Ahmed, who was charged with public sodomy, gave Sim a new perspective on life. He and his bride moved to Louisiana to start their family. Not long after arriving in Louisiana, they had their first child, Maybelline. Sim's urge to pursue his passion of ducks brought him and his family to Austin, Texas. After months of planning and dragging his family along, Sim founded his life's work, Duck Camp. It was all hands on deck to help bootstrap this sprawling business, as Sim planned to disrupt the sportsman clothing industry. His reward to his family was to buy a hunting camp at Lake Bruin in Louisiana so Jill could watch the kids while he ventured into the wilderness. Sim would return the favor by cooking his kill for the family, even though Jill would prefer to eat something other than duck meat. The excitement Sim felt connected him immediately with consumers. In his campaign to create awareness, during the non-hunting months he reached thousands and thousands of duck hunters who would remember his fabulous storytelling as one of the highlights of their hunting season. He took his mission so seriously that he charged above-market fees for his unique designs of camouflage patterns. His business was successful but was under constant challenges from competitors and the government itself. One day, Sim and his co-workers went to pick up their mobile display, but it was stolen. Immediately, Sim suspected the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. Sim would often battle with Wildlife and Fisheries as he found their rules confining and prevented him from establishing his bond with the ducks. In order to avoid the game warden, he would camouflage and hide in his blind. But more than that, he was in constant violation of another very reasonable Department of Wildlife and Fisheries rule, a daily bag limit of no more than 6 ducks. The game warden restrictions made him increasingly irate.
Okay, here we go. Wait, let me fix my hair. Hunting season 2020 coming to an end for duck camp. For me, Sim Watley. I came here and protected these animals as best I could. In fact, I'm the only protection for these animals out here. Government flying over a grand total 2 times in 2 months. How dare they? How dare they challenge me? How dare they smear me with their campaigns? How dare they? When they do not look after these animals, I come here in peace and love, neutral in respect. I will continue to do this. I'll fight them. I'll be an American dissident if I need be. There's a patriotic time going on right now, but as far as this fucking government's concerned, fuck you, motherfucking game warden.
Now Sim crosses a line with the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, which we will not cross. He attacks individuals with whom he worked for years.
I beat your fucking asses. I protected these animals. I did it. Fuck you. Ducks rule. Sim conquered. Fuck you, game warden.
It's clear to me that the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries is not Sim's real enemy. There's a larger, more implacable adversary out there. People's world and civilization, and his growing anger at this feeling that he is now over the hill and his golden years are behind him. He only has mockery and contempt for it. His rage is almost incandescent, artistic. The actor in his film has taken over from the filmmaker. I have seen this madness before on a film set, but Sim is not an actor in opposition to a director or producer. He's fighting civilization in the age of 40 itself. It is the same civilization that cast Thoreau out at Walden and John Muir into the wild. The next step in our journey brings us to where Sim calls home in Austin, Texas, where Jill, Sim's faithful wife of almost 9 years and mother of his 3 soon-to-be 4 children, agreed to appear on camera to discuss Sim's life with ducks. But instead of giving us insight into why he continues to dedicate his life to ducks, she revealed a growing concern of Sim leaving behind his humanness and exhibiting forms of becoming a duck himself. While Jill notes how good of a father Sim has been to their 3 soon-to-be 4 children, she gives us unique insight into how Sim and his love for ducks has impacted the family. Out of an abundance of caution and due to Sim's contempt for German citizens, I asked Jill's sister Renee to conduct the interview.
Well, Mrs. Watley, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. We know that you're expecting any day now. You said you have some concerns, and I just wanted to ask, at what point did you become concerned about your husband, Sim?
You know, he's always loved to hunt. He grew up hunting, and now he's 40. So, it's just been a part of him before, but now I feel like, I don't know, come see. You tell me.
Okay.
Is this alarming at all? Like, lately, when I make the bed in the morning, I mean, that's feathers, right? I don't know. I think he's molting. This is what he reads at night? A book of ducks.
Oh, it's just pictures of ducks.
I don't know. I know he loves them. I know he likes to eat them. He likes to cook them. He's providing for our family. But, like, at some point, it just feels like the obsession has gone too far. This seems unusual to me. I don't know. I go to brush my teeth at night. Knife. And is this normal in a toothbrush drawer? And then I've got like dog clothing, open another drawer, bullets. I don't know. Am I being unreasonable? It's just like, he seems all obsessed.
In the next clip, Jill gives us even more evidence of Sim's transformation into a duck.
Okay. No, things that are sweet. This is from our trip to Peru. I look different, right? He said he needs new shoes. Showed this. How am I supposed to buy shoes for these feet? No, there's just small changes that's got me a little worried.
Now little Maybelline with her perspective.
Hey Dad, happy birthday. 40's a really big number.
Maybelline, thank you for talking with us today. I understand you wanted to tell us something about your dad and what he's been doing when you asked him to read you a book recently.
Oh yeah, he likes to read this book because there's a duck. He opens up to this page, opens the flap, and doesn't do anything else. And sometimes he's so crazy he does this because he's so crazy about ducks. On this page, he usually opens up to this page, opens the flap, says ducklings about like 100 times, and then closes the flap and pretends like the book is over. I really hope you have a good birthday. Bye.
Girls, y'all want to help me do the laundry?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, get Dad's jeans. Check the pockets.
Yeah. What's this one say? Friday to do. Get charcoal, quack, waddle, practice flying.
What?
I have no idea what this means. I think maybe Dad, since he goes on duck hunting so much, he might be turning into a duck.
The damage is beyond repair.
I thought Leon would say mama, but I think he's just been around Sim too much. Just... Quack, quack.
Quack, quack. Quack,
Quack, quack.
quack.
There's one more thing we want to ask you, and when we had a very open conversation earlier, you had mentioned what might be the most alarming piece of evidence so far. Would you be willing to share on the record.
You're not going to put this on social media or anything like that, are you?
No.
So you saw the molting. So he wants to protect the ducks, but he wants to shoot the ducks. He wants to camouflage himself in the ducks. He wants to eat the ducks, and now that he's got this vendetta against the game warden, it's like he wants to actually be a duck. And it's a really personal time in our life. We got this baby coming. We got the baby will sleep here, and here's the sonogram pictures. Look how cute. Look how cute.
Oh.
See? Any day now. But then, look a little closer, and this part looks... This looks a little funny. I don't know. What do you think?
Could you show us one more time that last photo?
It says baby, but that's a duck.
Her worst fears are manifesting themselves. A baby duck grows inside her belly. For Sim, this means his passion will survive another generation. I would like to step in here in Sim's defense, not as an ecologist, but as a filmmaker. He captured such glorious improvised moments, the likes of which the studio directors with their union crews can never dream of. He encountered wildlife of all sorts and treated them with the same kindness he did with ducks.
Well, we're here in the Mallard Sanctuary, but I'm actually wrapping up here at the Mallard Sanctuary, wrapping up my work. I'm actually on my way to the Mallard Maze, where the ducks don't have protection. I'm going up to the Mallard Maze, and I'm going up there so I'm gonna shoot them ducks. I'm gonna shoot my gun at them. Ducks like Mallard Hen, ducks like Mr. Pintail, ducks like Spoony McSpoonbill. It's time for me to point my gun and pull the triggers at those ducks. River. Oh, River. I wish I could bring you with me. You'd love to eat them. Well, thank you, Mr. River. Thank you, Mr. River. You've been a good companion here in the sanctuary, but I'm going to the Mallard Maze. Anyways, I'll see you next season, Mr. River. Oh, wait. I'll see you when I get back from my expedition. But for now, it's off to the often exciting, often dangerous Mallard Maze.
Now the scene seems to be over, but as a filmmaker, sometimes things fall into your lap, which you couldn't expect, never even dream of. There is something like an inexplicable magic of cinema.
Hey, River. River, get that tree. River, get it, Mug. Get it. Good boy. Get it right there. Hey, what you doing with that hat? What you doing with that hat? Hey, who's stealing that hat? River, where's my hat? Where's my hat, River? Man, River is bad. River, that hat is very important hat. Oh. Ah, God damn it. I can't believe this. River? River, where's that fucking hat? Where's that fucking hat? That hat is so valuable. If it's in the den, I'm gonna fucking explode. It is not okay for you to steal it. God damn it. Oh man. Oh man.
Next, we head to Pensacola, Florida, where Frank and Sally Bauman give us unique examples of Sim's growing madness. At what point did you start to become concerned about Sim's behavior?
When we went to Austin in December, okay, well, I've never told anybody this, so this is a little uncomfortable to talk about. But it was one morning, I get up early to go into their kitchen to get coffee started for everybody, and Sim, he's in the kitchen, and his back is turned to me. He doesn't hear or see me, but he's crying, and he's holding a list. I stole the list. Would you like to see it?
Yes, can you show us the list?
Sim was hunched over this list. And can I just say, I think he was trying to basically pick who his favorite child was, but it wasn't until after I stole the list. It wasn't his children. He was trying to decide what his favorite duck was. And I was going to make fun of him until I saw him put his head in his hands, and he was in agony. He could not decide what his favorite duck was. It was his own Sophie's choice. He could not decide. He struggled for 5 minutes before he threw the paper away and then proceeded to make the coffee. It was okay, a little too dark, but...
How tragic.
It was. I think he has a problem. Like Sim, you can't hunt ducks and then want to save the ducks. You can't have both. You have to choose. In this list, he was at war with himself, and I was a little concerned. I think he did end up choosing Darkwing Duck, which I think was a mistake and a little short-sighted.
That was just weird, but a couple days before they left, I got up a little early, got the coffee going, and I noticed in our backyard some birds flying overhead, and I went outside, and then I could hear something. I go through the gate, and my house juts up next to a retaining pond. And I round the corner and I see Sim. Sim is at the retaining pond just looking in the sky. And he starts to call the ducks. And he didn't have a duck call with him, so he was just doing the standard. And he's really getting into it. He's squatting low and then coming up. And I was like, wow, Sim's getting into this, man. Some Pensacola ducks, and then it lands this mallard. Mallard lands right next to him. And I was just I was taken aback. I was like, wow, Sim knows what he's doing. And that's where it all changed. Instead of kind of like bonding with the duck, he just started to go on this tirade. And I could kind of hear it. I could just hear like, "See, Game Warden, fucking told you I could talk to the ducks. These ducks are mine." And I was just like, who's he talking to? There's nobody around. It's 6:30 in the morning. What is this guy talking to? And that's when it all changed for me on my perspective of Sim, and I started to get really concerned about just what is going on with Sim. He thinks he's a duck, and I've talked to Jill a couple times, and she's due any day now, and she's really worried that it's gonna be a duck.
Following this trip, Sim kicked off a psychological operational warfare campaign against the game warden by sending him a series of disturbing videos.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.
While Sim's vendetta against the game warden was a little extreme, his paranoia that the game warden was singling him and his company duck camp out was not unfounded. We were able to obtain a secret recording of the game warden addressing a Rotary Club in Stuttgart, Arkansas, singling out Sim in duck camp.
Thank you. Settle down now. Settle down. Thank you. All right, take your seats. Thank you. Thank you, distinguished members of the Stuttgart, Arkansas Rotary Club. We are at an inflection point in providing equitable pursuit of duck and waterfowl throughout our great nation. Sim Whatley and Duck Camp are threatening that objective. He is a constant violator of our most basic rules. He continues to take market share away from the great established clothing providers in our industry. His unique camouflage patterns make it next to impossible for duck hunters to get a fair pursuit of their game. While all of these things are concerning, it's his fantastical transformation into a duck that is the primary threat to our survival. On this day, I vow to you and all the duck hunters across the United States that Sim Whatley and Duck Camp will be routed out of every marsh, grassland, and pond across the continent. No amount of disturbing videos or continued antagonistic antics will deter me and my department's efforts.
We traveled to Sedona, Arizona to sit down with Marnie, who is one of Sim's closest friends and confidants. Additionally, Marnie has been instrumental in advancing the cause for ducks and duck camp. Marnie received some of the last communications from Sim prior to his transformation.
He wanted to become the duck, I think. And perhaps it was a religious experience for him, though not in the traditional sense. I have here one of the last texts that he sent me. And he says, "In order to become my true self, I have to mutate into a duck." And I think this really is a religious thing. And I think that it's a very beautiful thing. I have another example from another text that Sim sent me. "Becoming an actual duck is my only option. No one will take duck camp seriously if the company is run by a human. If duck camp is going to change the world, it needs to be led by an actual duck." And I think this is why Sim eats the ducks. Each bite takes him closer to duck actualization. And I think we can all relate to that.
Sim's friend Niraj gives us insight into that his transformation went beyond the physical, but into the habitual.
So, funny story. I think Sim, maybe 2 years ago, was running with me, and we'd planned to run together. So I just figured we would run side by side. But the whole time, Sim just wanted to run just kind of off of my left shoulder, just a little bit behind me, and then. Like the next day we were running with another friend, and Sim insisted that one of us run slightly in front of the other two, and then the other two of us were just like on the sides of that person in the front. And he wouldn't run next to anybody. And then there was a period in time where he, it seemed like, was just obsessed with Emilio Estevez. And this was like, you know, he loved him back in the day when he was in like Mighty Ducks and stuff. But like in the last few years, I feel like I've seen posters on his wall and pictures in his wallet kind of like falling out. And then maybe a year ago, I hung out with him. It was just he and I, and he just like kept kind of like getting his head out of the way, and I didn't know what was going on, but now it all makes sense, you know, like he wanted to run in a V formation, and the Mighty Ducks are like back at the top of his list of movies, and he's just like practicing ducking out of the way when nothing was coming at him just because he's so obsessed with ducks. So I hope you get help, Sim.
It turns out that the game warden is not Sim's only enemy. His own family has started to turn against him and what they perceive as manipulation over the years since he has joined the family. There are a growing number of participants in what is being called the Alt Duck Camp movement.
Hey guys, Eric here with PETA. Planning our major protest here. It's going to make some big waves soon, we think. Maybe bring down the whole Duck Camp brand. So thinking about what we're going to wear to really cause some ruckus here with this protest. And we thought, what's a better place to go hunting for our shirts than Duck Camp Hunting Showroom? So let's see if we can get inside. From what we've been told, the Duck Camp people have become so comfortable with their surroundings, so embraced by this community, they don't even lock the doors anymore, so we're about to find out. A life taken too soon? And at what cost? Why? Why?
This is the Austin Police. We have you surrounded.
So we made it back after a close encounter to the PETA lodge. We're gonna fix this piece of truth to this garment right now. And this is gonna be what we're wearing to our major protest, our camp out that starts tomorrow when I'm joined by my PETA comrades. But until then, we're gonna enjoy some plant-based protein, some oat milk, and some freedom fruit. Grown by God, no animals killed. Until next time.
Eric, Dana, and Renee braved the Austin cold to broadcast their message against Duck Camp.
It's okay. I know. It won't be much longer. I know. We're doing this for a good reason. For a good reason, right? Yeah. See, these are friendly ducks. These are the nice ducks. Oh, we're gonna make the world a better place for them. Can you hear me? We're making the world a better place for these ducks. I just never thought with Sim entering the family
I never thought it would come to this.
I didn't either. Just really didn't. I would have talked to Jill more seriously about it if it had, you know.
Mommy,
It seems.
Daddy, what?
It was exciting at first. It was exciting at first.
It was all about love. And,
his passion.
Mine
Thought he was in it for the right reason.
oh, let's develop a new camouflage.
Mommy,
It's okay. I know you're sad about the ducks. It's okay. It's okay.
Leon, we don't want you to grow up in a world like this. That's why we're here. Is that one? No.
How many days has that been, Dana?
Too many. I mean, we're in triple digits now, I think.
I mean, do you remember when we unwittingly were a part of this? We
I mean, parties, Moccasin.
Yes.
I didn't think we were contributing to this.
I thought we were spending time together as a family.
What do you think he was thinking then? Do you think he knew?
I think it was all.
Do you think he knew?
Yeah, I think he knew.
He was planning it behind our backs.
Planning it.
Right there.
No way. No. Really?
Was he orchestrating? Making the flocks go in certain places?
Learning
their
where
patterns?
they were going.
Just
finding out what we were okay with,
yeah.
what we weren't.
But he didn't know how strong we were.
That's what he
thought
underestimated.
that bringing us in
right. That's
might
right, Leon.
make us
That's
one
right.
of them. One of them.
We just have to help Jill, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Jill's really gonna need us through this. Yeah.
And it's these types of shared experiences that are really going to make us stronger and the duck stronger because of that.
You're so cold, honey. Come.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah. We shouldn't be out here too many more nights. Bundle up.
I mean,
It's freezing out.
do we still have hope? Is there
It's
hope
freezing out here.
for Sim? Is there hope for Sim? There used to be a connection with him over these sorts of things, you know, over being outside, nature. I mean,
Pollyanna, do you want a Soylent bar? A vegan Soylent bar? I think we have maybe one or two.
Do we have it?
We
Yeah.
don't.
No?
You
Is
could
the
go
seitan
forage
all gone?
for some berries, maybe, or some bark. See seitan?
yeah.
My uncle is a murderer. He murders dunks. And there's a type of duck. It's teal. And many people don't know. Teal is not just a color. Teal's not just a color. Teal's not just a color. Teal's not just a color. Yeah.
Sierra Club recently. I think they're gonna.
Are they gonna get involved?
I tried to see if we could get on their Instagram feed, send them some photos. Yeah.
That's
Hopefully-
great. That's
hopefully
good.
We'll get some
That's
coverage
success.
to this. Yeah, get some coverage of this. I mean, the world needs to know.
Yep.
You know,
Quack.
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 Ducks, not dollars.
Ducks.
Not dollars. Ducks, not dollars.
Ducks, not dollars. Ducks, not dollars. Ducks, not dollars. Ducks, not dollars. Ducks, not dollars. Ducks, not dollars. Ducks, not dollars. Ducks, not dollars. Ducks, not dollars. Ducks, not dollars.
I think I might see one.
Look to the sky.
The conclusion of Sim Whatley's story has yet to be written. He continues to make his films and has recently welcomed Trip into this world. While Sim's blood runs through his veins, it's Trip's beak, feathers, and webbed feet that will forever connect him with ducks and all waterfowl alike.
Was a cowboy I knew in South Texas. His face was burnt deep by the sun. Part history, part sage, part Mexican. He was there when Pancho Villa was young, and he'd tell you a tale of the old days, when the country was wild all around. Sit out under the stars of the Milky Way and listen while the coyotes howl. And they go, woo yip, woo yip, woo, woo yip, woo, woo yip, woo yip, woo, woo yip, woo yip. Now the longhorns are gone, and the drovers are gone, the Comanches are gone, and the outlaws are gone. Geronimo's gone, and Sam Bass is gone, and the lion is gone, and the red wolf is gone. Well, he cursed all the roads and the old men, and he cursed the automobile. Said this is no place for an hombre like I am, in this new world of asphalt and steel. Then he'd look off someplace in the distance at something only he could see. He'd say all that's left now of the old days, damned old coyotes and me. And they go, ooh yip, ooh yip, ooh, ooh yip, ooh, ooh yip, ooh yip, ooh, ooh yip, ooh. Now the longhorns are gone, and the drovers are gone, the Comanches are gone, the outlaws are gone. Now Cointreau's gone, Stand Watie's gone, and the lion is gone, and the red wolf is gone.
Oh, you touch my tra-la-la. My ding-ding-dong.